going on, Jerome? Of course, we know that J.J. McCarthy is quarterback one of the Minnesota Vikings, but we are always an advocate of more quarterbacks, especially since Kevin O'Connell is a certified quarterback whisperer. Having more arms in that quarterback room for either emergency purposes as well as for future profits, because, hey, Kevin O'Connell is earning that reputation of being the quarterback whisperer. Anything he touches turns to gold, and starting that quarterback mill, we're constantly churning, burning, getting comp picks, getting trade compensation for quarterbacks. I think it makes sense. And as of right now, besides J.J. McCarthy, the only quarterback on the rooster is Brett Rippin' Ass. Right now, of course, the wink nudge handshake deal with Joe Flacco certainly could be in play, but even though the Vikings don't have a ton of draft capital, could they be looking at a quarterback in the draft? And Ohio State's Will Howard, alleged national champion. I'm just kidding. Will Howard never beat Michigan. He only had one crack at it, but Will Howard from the Ohio State University could be a late day 3 selection that definitely could strike the Vikings fancy. Long story longer, Ben Solak over at ESPN, and I know that Solak gets poop from Vikings fans every now and then, but this one's legit. So 2025 NFL quarterback mock draft, team fits in 7 rounds, and in the 6th round at 187, the Vikings picked up Willie Howard from the Ohio State. 6'4", 236, 2024 stats, 73% completion percentage. It's pretty easy when you got Jeremiah Smith and Nagbuka, but 4,000 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, 10 picks, 7 rushing touchdowns, won the national title, all that stuff. This is what Ben wrote. A few weeks ago, the NFL world was abuzz with the potential of Aaron Rodgers joining the NFL. No. And J.J. McCarthy, and fighting J.J. McCarthy for the quarterback 1 job, that probably won't happen, and probably was never going to happen. That's right. But the Vikings do need another quarterback in the building. Minnesota lost last year's quarterback 1, Sam Darnold. Yeah. And quarterback 3, Nick Mullins in free agency. Who's 2? Oh, also they lost Daniel Jones. Only Brett Rippin is roostered behind McCarthy, who is far from a sure thing himself. McCarthy still hasn't played an NFL snap following last year's meniscus injury. Hey, at least he got that right. Everyone else and their mom says it's an ACL, but it's not. I love Rippin as much as the next guy. No, really, but that's not enough. Ideally, the Vikings go quarterback earlier in this draft. Except where would they go quarterback? So take a look at the Vikings draft picks. If only I had this up in front of me because I'm a professional. So what are they going to do? Quarterback at 24? Jackson Dart? No. But a potential trade down, would they target a day 2 quarterback? Probably not. In round 3, who's going to be there? Take a look at Kyle McCord. Jackson Dart, maybe he falls. Yeah. Frankly, I think 5th or 6th round will be about right for the Vikings. And if the Vikings get Howard at 187, I think that's big time value. He has 43 starts over 4 seasons at Kansas State and national championship campaign with Ohio State. With the Buckeyes, also when he was at Kansas State, he was a dog, man. Like that Kansas State Texas game from 2003. Just a dude. With the Buckeyes, he looked the part as a poised and trustworthy veteran. I like Howard's mobility, but he isn't a one-read and scramble escape artist in the pocket. He'll sit in there, bounce through progressions, and look for the correct throw. He can break a tackle or 2 as well. He's big and doesn't shy away from contact. Howard can access all the levels of the field and is generally safe with the football, but he doesn't see it fast and will get hoodwinked by coverage rotations at the snap. He needs an offense like the one Kevin O'Connell runs, as it protects the quarterback from high processing demands. At Ohio State, Howard picked his poison on isolation routes with elite college receivers in Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka. But in Minnesota, he could do the same thing with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. If he hits, I could see Howard having a Jabroni Brisket type career. He might even get a designated sneaker role in Minnesota behind McCarthy, which would be kind of funny. Now, Howard is LanceRline.NFL.com draft profile, rounds 4 to 5. Blake Bortles, except Bortles went number 3 overall. And Bortles, had a decent arm, made bad decisions, but had size as well. It's interesting. Overview. Howard brings outstanding size and toughness to the table. He showed good improvement over the last 3 seasons. He is more a vessel of the play caller than a playmaking talent, fortunately. Vikings have Kevin O'Connell. He typically reads half the field and makes reasonable decisions with the football. He has a good mechanics and consistent accuracy. He doesn't hold defenders at bay with his eyes and lacks the arm strength to beat tight man coverage on 2nd and 3rd level throws. He showed good poise in 2024 to beat the blitz through the air and always has been able to escape pressure by making plays with his legs. Howard is big, tough, and accurate, but benefit from superior talent at skill positions at Ohio State. Fortunately, That's what he'd be stepping into with the Vikings. Unless he proves he can play chess against NFL defenses, he might not have enough in the toolbox to become more than an average backup. And that's okay. Frankly, if Howard became an average backup, that would be rock solid. And like we said, he's a Pennsylvania kid, rock solid, tough. He's got good size, can take contact, runs in goal line short yard situations. Developed every single year at Kansas State. Over the last 3 years, he's really taken nice leaps and bounds. Like we said, his 2023 tape is solid. 2024, he was the maestro for the Ohio State, more of a distributor. And he did what Kyle McCord couldn't do in Columbus, go out there and win a national title. But like we said, I don't think Howard's ever going to develop into a elite starting quarterback or maybe even a starter in general. But is he a guy that has got some toughness, could have some sub-package capability, and eventually you wouldn't mind him as your quarterback too? And if he has to hold down the fort for a stretch, he certainly could do that. I think Howard certainly could do that, and it certainly would be worth the 6th-round draft capital that the Vikings invested in this situation. So overall, I mean, there's worse ways to spend a draft pick, and even though the Vikings don't have a ton of draft picks, like we said, in free agency, Vikings have really crushed in terms of needs, so they can really be freed up to go BPA. And say the Vikings go, I don't know, D-line, corner, O-line, in some mixture in the first 3 picks, absent a trade down, going quarterback at 187, I'm mad at that at all. And they can get Will Howard, as well as they can bring in Flacco, as well as they can see if Rippon can be anything more than quarterback 3. And, of course, JJ's quarterback 1. That's fine. And you want 4 quarterbacks in camp. And I think if that's the blueprint, I am mad at that at all. But your thoughts are thoughts. ESPN suggests that the Vikings spend a 6th-round pick on the Ohio State University's quarterback Will Howard. Yeah, man. Doesn't take much convincing for me. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.